Hi, I'm Jeff Ludy, and you're watching Ask Jeff, a YouTube channel devoted to educating, empowering, and encouraging entrepreneurs. Okay, today I want to talk to you about the 3 G's. I've got a video called the 3 P's. We'll put a little link to that up here. This is not the same thing. So people have asked me, Jeff, what is the key to your success? What is the key to you having been successful in business? Well, I've got to start by telling them I wasn't always successful. I've made a lot of mistakes and I've had businesses that have failed. You know, praise God, I've never gone into bankruptcy, but I've gotten pretty close. But I have had some great success. And I want to talk to you about where I believe my success has come from. And it's kind of boiled down to being generous. And I want to talk to you about how you can be generous in 3 areas. At least this has worked for me. And maybe something like this will work for you. So the first G, you've got to be generous to God. I don't know what your faith is. My faith is Christian. I have a heritage of Christian in my family. And I believe that God has provided me with talents. He's provided me with opportunities. And He's provided me with earnings. Why wouldn't I give back? Why wouldn't I be generous to God? Now, I don't give to God out of obligation. I don't give to God out of some arbitrary number that someone made up, even though the Bible does talk about 10% in the Old Testament. And then some people argue, well, that was the Old Testament. They were under the law. And those of you who understand theology understand this better than me. But no, I give to God generously. I give Him more than maybe I should. But why? Because I believe that God's given to me, and I think it's good to be able to pay that back, to show respect and honor to God for His generosity to me. The second G, the second generous, is be generous to others. Wow, be generous to others. Okay? Yeah, so you're generous with God, you're generous with others. Now look, I've met many people in my life that were generous to me. Like, when I had lost my job and I went for a couple of months without work, I had some friends of mine that stepped up, and it was sacrificial for them to give me some money to help me pay my bills, but they did. It was kind of hard for me to even receive their generosity because it just kind of was an admission that I was not doing well financially. But I learned a lot from that I can be generous to others. And when I'm generous to others, I feel good about myself too. Now look, have you ever been at a red light and you see a guy out there panhandling, wanting some money? There's a couple of thoughts that go to your mind, right? Most of us do. Most of us look at it one of 2 ways. We look at it like, this guy can get a job. He looks able-bodied to me. He's probably using drugs. He's probably, like we start giving ourselves reasons to not be generous. But another way to look at it too is, you know what? I don't know this guy's story. I don't know what he's been through. I have no clue. And for the grace of God, I'm not on that corner right now myself. Here's $1. Here's $5. Being generous helps you have a lifestyle of generosity, okay? And I believe that money is like a river. It flows through our hands. You try to dam it up, it becomes the Dead Sea. Nobody likes the Dead Sea, right? Let it flow. You don't have to give it all away, but give some of it away. Be generous to others. I'm generous to my employees. You can ask my employees. I'm generous to them. I like when I win, we all win. It's part of being generous, and it's a part of who we are. And it's helped us be successful. When I owned my restaurant, and even in prior careers to that, I think I've given away, Sandra and I, we've given away, I think maybe 6, 7, 8 cars to people. We'd buy a newer car and we'd give it away. I can tell you there's many times they didn't use it like we thought they might. I remember one time we had a guy who we gave him a car. He went and sold it for drug money and didn't come back to work. But it doesn't stop me from being generous to others because I've been on the receiving end of that and I want to do that. Okay. Here's the third generous. You're probably going to like this one more than the first 2. Be generous to yourself. I mean, you've got to reward yourself. If you've been hard at work and you've done some things and you've accomplished, you've got to take a break. I mean, at some point you've got to say, you know what? I need to go out to eat dinner. Or you know what, honey? You've done such a great job running this house and taking care of these kids. Let's be generous to each other. Let's get a babysitter. Let's be generous to him or her, give them a good tip, right? And let's go out and have a great meal together. We've got to celebrate this. Now, I got to tell you this quick story. I thought this was great. I started making some pretty good money and I was taking care of my bills and I had no debt and the IRS wasn't calling me, nothing like that, right? Everything was good. And I thought, you know what? I'm in my mid-50s now. I guess I'm going through that 50s midlife thing. I thought, I need a faster car. I need a sportier car. So I was a little nervous to go because I know I'm somewhat impulsive and then I'll buy stuff if I go look at it, right? So I went down to the Lamborghini dealership just to take a look, not buying a car today. Well, I got in that car and I started driving and the salesman was in the front seat with me and I'm driving and thinking my smile keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I can tell you what, I remember exactly where I was. In fact, I drove by there today. We're coming underneath this underpass and we're turning around to go back onto the highway. And the thought that came into my mind was, this is a lot of money. Oh, do I deserve something like this? And this salesman must have had some kind of mojo. He started reading my mind and this is what he said. He said, Jeff, a car like this is a celebration of hard work and success. You deserve it. And you know what went through my mind? Yes, sir, I deserve it. And about 2 hours later, I drove out with that new car. Now, if I had not been generous to God, generous to others, and I had bills I should have paid, I didn't pay, that would have been something I shouldn't have done. But sometimes you've got to give yourself permission. Be kind to yourself. Be generous to yourself. Do something nice for yourself. You know what you'll find out? Is when you take care of yourself and you take care of others, it creates a snowball. It becomes a great way to live your life. And when you do that, life is better. Hey, I hope this has educated you. I hope it has empowered you and encouraged you. Thanks for watching. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. And if you got a question for me, send it to ask@jeffslist.com. Have a good day.